Hey guys, it is Spooky Noodles, and I am here with a top 5 science fiction authors, or science fiction books to be more precise, that I want to read this by the end of this year. So these are 5 books, 5 science fiction books I want to read by the end of this year. And let's just get right into it because I know I could probably talk forever, and I do talk forever sometimes, so I'm going to try to not be so, I got stuff to do, so I'm going to try to be as quick as I can. The first book here is kind of a cheat because, well, you'll see in a minute, but, well, I'll show you now. It's Aliens by, Steve Perry? Steve Perry. And it's Earth Hive. I also own the movie tie-in Alien, and I can't wait to read that one as well. But I decided to pick this one because this is the first in the little book series that they have, and I always wanted to know more about the xenomorphs and have better stories about the xenomorphs, because other than the first Alien film, Aliens and Alien 3, I think it is. I didn't like I didn't like anything after the first Alien movie. The first Alien movie is like my second favorite film of all time. But after the first one, the second one got too actiony for me. I mean, it had its moments that I liked. So I thought it was an okay film overall, but it just spiraled downwards. So I always wanted to learn more about the xenomorphs and have better stories about the xenomorphs than what we got in theaters. And yeah. So this is a science fiction horror novel, so I don't know if this really counts. It's a specter. A specter science fiction, it says on the spine, so it counts. But that is a book. I could read the back. Yeah, I'll read the back for you guys. Wilkes was a space marine with a near fatal flaw. He had a heart. Billy was a child, the only survivor of a far-flung colony outpost. Thrown together in the last hellish night of an alien invasion, Billy and Wilkes helped each other get out alive. Sorry, I got like a huge saliva buildup right now, and I gotta like swallow it every time I read a few sentences or a few words. Gross, I know. 13 years later, Wilkes is in prison and Billy lives in a mental institution. The nightmare memories of the massacre at Rim seared into her mind. Now the government has tapped Wilkes to lead the expedition to the aliens' home planet to bring back a live alien, but the competition on Earth to develop the aliens as a new weapon system is brutal. When Wilkes' team departs on their mission, trained assassin trails them, and what follows is no less than guerrilla warfare on the aliens' planet, and alien conquest on Earth. So this sounds, I mean, the title says aliens, so it's probably a lot like the the second Alien movie, or in the franchise. So I'm not sure if I'm going to like it, but I'm going to give it a try because I want to learn more about it. And I don't think this is a movie tie-in. I think this is its own book, so I'm not sure. And I don't remember if Wilkes is the main character in Alien. I don't think so. So I don't think so. So it doesn't look like it. So I'm gonna go ahead and say this is new characters, and I can't wait to give it a read. But that's the first science fiction book I want to read by the end of this year. It's going to be easy to fit in because it's a horror novel, and that's what I mostly read. Sorry if my hand's a little shaky. I don't know why my hands have been so shaky lately, but they've been shaky, so I apologize. But that is Earth Hive Aliens. You probably can't even pick it up that it's shaky. I don't know why I brought it up. But yeah, second one is a book in a 2-book series. So what do you call that? A duology? I don't know. And that's The Marked Man by Charles Ingrid, right? Ingrid, yeah. Now, this back is longer. I don't know if you guys want me to read that, but I'll show it to you guys. I'm pretty sure that's clear enough for you guys to read. Just pause the video if you want to read it. Fuck it, I'll read it. It began with an overwhelming abuse of the environment, and when the damage had spread too far, humans turned to genetic manipulation in search of a viable form of survival. Off the coast of California, guild-equipped humans returned to the sea for a time, but the lure of the land was too strong, and eventually they returned determined to manipulate their environment instead of themselves. Then a recurring plague decimated humankind, linking to the DNA structure to create truly terrifying mutations. Desperately, a small group searched for answers, seeking to breed the shifting bloodlines back to pure form. And while they experimented, Thomas Blade and his fellow lords protectors, I don't know why I read it that way, 7 men and women gifted with powerful psychic abilities, stood guard as the last defense against the forces of the mutant Denathan, who had sworn to complete the destruction of the true human race. Sounds very interesting, and it's a 2-book series, so I could totally do that. And I'm thinking about doing it. It just sounds really cool, and it's a short book. I think it's like 250 pages, if I'm not wrong. Let me see here. It is 253 pages, and yeah, this is The Marked Man, and then there's a sequel to this one, which I will read probably next year, because this is a book that I hope to read by the end of this year. So there's probably no chance of me reading this second book. And of course, this one impresses me so much that I have to pick up the next book. But I highly doubt that's gonna be the I mean, it could. I should give it the benefit of the doubt, but be an optimist, not a pessimist. But I don't know. We'll see. It sounds like a good premise, and the goofy looking cover, I don't know why I think that's goofy. It's probably really cool, but to me it's kind of goofy. His haircut is probably what sells it as goofy for me. But yeah, that's the second science fiction novel. It is science fiction, yeah. This is the second science fiction book that I want to read by the end of this year. Now we're getting into some classics here. Alright. Excuse me. Sorry. I have to burp in every video. It's like a catchphrase of mine. A burp. But next we have Isaac Asimov's I, Robot. I got this from my grandfather and or my grandpop. That's what I kind of call him, is my grandpop to everybody. I never really call him grandfather. I don't even know why I call him grandfather. That just sounds weird. I think that's something I would call my other grandfather or my granddad, whatever you want to call him. I would call my Grandpa Doug. Well, I call him Grandpa Doug, but I would probably call him grandfather. But my other grandpa is really cool, and I call him Grandpa. So, but anyways, that's besides the point. This is I, Robot by Isaac Asimov, and this is a collection of stories. So you got Robbie, Run Around, Reason, Catch That Rabbit, Liar, Little Lost Robot, Escape Evidence, and the Inevitable Conflict. So, yeah, and I will read the 3 laws of robotics. So, the 3 laws of robotics. 1. A robot may not injure a human being, or, through inaction, allow a human being to come to harm. 2. A robot must obey orders given it by human beings, except where such orders would conflict with the first law. And then 3. A robot must protect its own existence as long as such protection does not conflict with the first and second law. So those are the 3 robot laws. I I watched the Will Smith movie and I was not impressed, but then everyone told me that the book has nothing to do with the movie. Like the movie maybe was based off maybe one of the stories. But yeah. I'll be right back, guys. Hey guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. Had to help the mom with something. We're still building this house, so every once in a while she's gonna need my help. So I'm sorry for totally going downstairs for a second. I had to unscrew some nuts off of a chair and take the legs off, so I'm back now. So let's finish this list, shall we? So next is a pretty dusty book for some reason. I thought I kept it up well, but next on the science fiction science I just ran up a flight of stairs, so sorry. Or not a flight, but I've run up a staircase. So 5 science fiction books I want to read. There's no order in this list. They're just books that I want to read before the end of the year. There's no order in them, so yeah. But the next book I want to read before the end of the year is Dune by Frank Herbert. Not to be confused with James Herbert, who's a horror author who wrote Rats, which I have, actually. I have 3 James Herbert books, but that's besides the point. This is Frank Herbert. And the top is a science fiction supreme masterpiece. So, let's read the back, shall we? And this isn't the one with the cool cover or anything. This is just your average book that I bought, for like $5 online. So, I was hoping to get the cool cover, but I didn't get the cool cover, so, which is a shame, but it's whatever. Here we go. Here's the novel that will be forever considered a triumph of the imagination. Set on the desert planet Arrakis, Dune is the story of a boy, Paul Atreides, who would become the mysterious man known as Muad'Dib, or Muad'Dib. He would avenge the traitorous plot against his noble family and would bring to fruition humankind's most ancient and fat tongue syndrome. Sorry, guys. Plus the saliva buildup. Unationable dream. I'm totally saying that word wrong. I apologize. I've never seen that word before. Unationable. It has to be that. Because it's unattainable. I've heard that word before. Unattainable dream. I feel so stupid right now, guys. I did that on camera too. A stunning blend of adventure and mysticism, environmentalism, and politics, Dune won the first Nobel Award, shared a Hugo Award, and formed the basis of what is undoubtedly the grandest epic in science fiction. Oh my god, I can't talk today. And then it has a few blurbs from like the Chicago Tribune, Arthur C. Clarke, and Washington Post. Excuse me. Arthur C. Clarke says, "I know nothing comparable to it except Lord of the Rings." So that's pretty cool. This is not a short book. And it has a map of the world too, so that's pretty cool. And it has on the back what do you call it? A dictionary. Oh my god, I'm so stupid today. A dictionary in the back for all the words that he kind of created, so you can follow along. Terminology of the Imperium, and then it has I don't know when this book ends. Appendixes. Okay, there we go. So it actually ends on page 489. So this might be a little bit daunting for me. But I'm gonna try to read it. I'm not really one for really hard reads. My grandfather said he read this one and it was amazing, so I knew I had to get it. I heard amazing things about it, and I want to read it, but now that I'm looking at it, it looks pretty daunting with the, terminology and stuff like that you need to research. Like, I don't want to be flipping back and forth between pages just to figure out what one word is. But I will try my best. If I put it down, I put it down, and it's not because it's a bad book. It's just because I'm not at that reading stage where I can read it. Like, this might be a book I pick up in my 30s. But right now, I might be too, I don't want to say at a rookie level, but I'm just not there yet to where I can read Dune. So, but I'm gonna try it anyways. Regardless, I'm gonna try at the end, before the end of this year. I'm gonna try to read this book, despite the dauntingness of it. That's a word. All right, next we have not a classic, but a book. I hear great things about this science fiction author. He passed away, sadly. I think all of these science fiction authors passed away. I'm not sure though. There could be some that are still alive. Like, I don't know about Charles Ingrid or Steve Perry, but I'm sure Isaac Asimov and Frank Herbert are dead. And Mike Resnick has died recently, I think, like in the past 8 years. And that's Mike Resnick is Paradise. Now, this kind of reminds me of what the I can't talk today. I just can't talk today, guys. It reminds me of what the I want to say colonists. I'm not sure if that's right, but it's kind of reminds me of what they did to the Native Americans. They escaped one place to destroy another place. Like, there's this. Basically, what this story is about is there's these aliens that live on this planet, and humans decide to take over the planet. Sorry about the glare, guys. Beautiful book, by the way. Interesting. It's a Tor science fiction. That's different. But yeah, it's basically humans decide to take over this planet, and the aliens and a small group of like rebels, I guess you can say, team up with the aliens to try to fight for their homeland back. So it's it reminds me of a lot of, like, it's like the alien version of what the soon to be Americans would do to the Native Americans. So yeah, pretty brutal stuff, as you can see. Let me read the inside flap for you guys. So August Hardwick told Matthew Breen, a young journalist captured by the lure of the fabled Paradise planet, the aging hunter's tale of a wild, unspoiled world teeming with awesome exotic creatures fired Breen's imagination. But the elusive secret of the New Eden seemed forever out of his reach. Each person who had been touched by its magic saw it differently. The Ephraim Oxblood, it was a savage, pureless land inhabited by subhuman alien beings. To August Hardwick, it was a big game hunter's dream. A vast wilderness filled with demon cats. My bad, I almost said Democrats. Demon cats, bush devils, and the majestic jeweled-eyed beast known as landships. To Amanda Pickett, it was a rich, fertile land where a fortune could be made in a few short years. And to Buku Pepon, the first great leader of the native and alien race, it was a homeland to be reclaimed from the invading humans by peace if possible, by bloodshed if necessary. And then it says continue on the back flap. Matthew Breen's quest became an obsession that took him across his galaxy and consumed half a lifetime before he discovered the shattering truth at last. A haunting tale of destinies and dreams that mirrors the tragedies and triumphs of human history, which is what I talked about. Paradise is a masterwork of modern science fiction. And that's why I want to read this book. Because what the colonists, I think that's what they call them. I'm not sure. The colonists, what they did to the Native Americans was disgusting, horrifying, and it was all just to steal their land. And this book, I think, will be a great science fiction version of our past history. It will, like, it makes you probably think, like, you know, like, if someone were from the South, like someone who was really, how I want to put this, just someone who believes like nothing is wrong with the fact that we did what we did, and if they read this book, they probably would change their mind. Like, for someone who thinks the colonists were all right and the Confederate flag is okay and stuff like that. I'm not saying anything bad about anything, but me personally, I just don't think I don't want to get into politics, but basically what I'm saying is someone of that kind of mind would probably read this book and change their mind, because seeing it from a different point of view is always game changing, you know. So that's why I want to read Mike Resnick's Paradise, and this is a first book in a series. If you didn't know, Aliens, the book Alien Hive, or Earth Hive, I mean, by Steve Perry is a series. The Marked Man is a 2-book series. Then you got iRobot, then Dune. But this one is part of a 3-book trilogy. Obviously it's 3 books, so it's a trilogy. I didn't pull out the other books, but there's Purgatory and Inferno that follow this book. Basically, they're not really connected, but they are connected by a similar premise, and that is that this paradise planet is host to these alien beings. And yeah, I really want to read this book. And this is probably, I'm not going to say any of these are on the top of my science fiction list, but to be read list. But if I had to pick one of these 5 books to be read first, I'd probably give it to Mike Resnick's Paradise, and then maybe iRobot. And then after that, it's obscure to me. Maybe Aliens, then maybe The Marked Man, then Dune, because that's the most daunting one. But Mike Resnick's Paradise is something I must read by the end of this year. It's just something that I really want to read, and it's not like it's like too horribly long. It is 323 pages, so I can knock this sucker out in a month. I know that probably seems long to you guys, but I would love to read this book. I'm just on kind of like a horror book, like a Lovecraftian phase right now. So, I don't know when that's going to end, but right now I'm reading Jinn by Graham Masterton, which isn't Lovecraftian necessarily, but it kind of feels like a Lovecraftian book because it has like similar characters from the Manitou in it, and it reads a lot like the Manitou, because there's like this evil force, and if you open the jar, it will basically kill everybody. So like it's very Lovecraftian in a sense that it's the fear of the unknown, you know, and the whole book you're gearing up to fear this, you know, jar that hasn't even opened up yet, you know. And yeah, so that's what I'm reading right now, The Jinn by Graham Masterton, and then I'm going to read the Cassandra Caw little book series, the Persons Non Grata book series, which I'm very, very excited about, because I hear great things about it. Even the little slip inside the book that I got, because obviously someone gifted it to somebody else, but it just reads that, you know, it's a great book, and I cannot wait to give it a read. Both the books in the series. And then I have another Lovecraftian black historic literature book coming called The Resurrectionist, and I cannot wait to read that either. The Resurrectionists. Sorry, my bad. But I shouldn't have told you that because I'm gonna do a book mail for it. But that's regardless, I guess. Never mind. Just forget about it. But these have been my, if I can grab them with one hand, these have been my 5 science fiction books I want to read by the end of the year. And that is in the wrong order. It's definitely not Dune first and Mike Resnick last. It's just the way the books are stacked. I would have to say Mike Resnick is definitely first, and then Isaac Asimov is second. Then after that, it's obscure, like I said. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys are having a good day in this scary time. I hope you have a spooky night. I'll catch you in the next video, guys. Be safe. Peace out.
Now I am become death, the destroyer of